Hello, mini makers. Today we'll be making a fountain. I found a fountain online and like how it looks. So I'm gonna try to just make one. This one's pretty small, but because we're making it digitally, we can scale it to be like a larger size fountain. Probably gonna increase the size of the base, bottom, and to maybe change the shape slightly. But we're probably gonna follow mostly the design of the fountain. Okay. So the first thing to do is size this up. I'm gonna make it a 50 millimeter base. My bad. Here we 50 here, here. Okay, so we're gonna make something like that. So we're gonna start by putting a bevel on the edge here. Click the face, bevel it slightly. And then we can change the bevel. I believe there's a way you can how it. The type of bevel. That again. Yeah, some segments and then kind of affects the shape of them. And we want it to be something that which segments like that. So that's the bottom part of the base. To do this portion, we can just add a cylinder. So the best way to do these is just to I have a laid on view. I won't set it as a reference image, but you want to just make these in portions. So now here's the second portion. I want it to be about 50 millimeters tall, so I'm just gonna make a 50 here. And normally I do D&D and other things like that. So it's 25 millimeters. So 50 millimeters is about 10 tall. So I'm just gonna add a cylinder here. And then I'm gonna include it. Or probably inset it first. Then exclude it. Then we'll inset again. Then we'll exclude. Then we'll exclude and then we'll right click to be able to manipulate it and then hit S Alt X. Scaled everything but the Z dimension by hitting S Shift Z. And then just extrude it upward slightly. That's this portion here. So now we can go ahead and this. Then bevel this side portion. Back to super clip. Bevel this inside portion here. That's this portion here. Slightly. then when we union these together, it looks like, so as long as we union everything together, make sure everything overlaps, it should come out fine. Down slightly like that, and then looks like there may be a small portion here as well, so we can just bevel this slightly, bevel it. Okay. That, and then that's upward. So now we need to add a sphere. Go ahead and add a sphere here. Want everything to overlap. I do. That's that bottom part of the sphere. And then I can go ahead and just place this portion here. Delete these vertices. And then I can fill this face in. F, in, and set it slightly. That's like set it a bunch. Flute upwards. Flute a little bit. A little bit more. Then exclude. Hit E to exclude. Right click. Size and everything but the D dimension again. Just move that up. See? Get that area here. Include one more time. That. And I'm gonna just move it down a little. That. Lift this up. Bevel that. So beveling is a really good way to get these curves. So it looks like a kind of hard thing to model. It's actually not too hard. So we'll just this section here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit E to exclude, and then Shift Alt S. Hit that, and then we can just bevel these edge loops. So we just Alt left click and then Shift Alt left click. That gets that little portion. And we can just S, put in Z a little bit, and that's that portion. Okay, so that's the bottom part. And then for this bowl area, I'm probably just gonna add another, sphere. Then I'll just delete there probably. And then I'll hit Shift Alt S. So I'm just gonna maybe scale it in the Z dimension there. That goes quite a bit over. Something like that. So for the most part, the only part that won't, like, this can, so I get to this point in like a project and think how big this is gonna be, and can I print this with an FDM 3D printer? So I'm thinking that this whole thing could probably be printed in FDM pretty easily, but to do that without supports, whenever I print with FDM, the first thing I think of is, can I print this without supports? They hate wasting material. So to do that, we're gonna have to make some concessions. So you want to avoid overhangs, you're going to want to avoid overhang. So to see overhangs, you can go into this button up here with mesh overlays, hit mesh analysis, and then you get to see the overhang. So you see lead, that's bad. So we're just gonna, so we set hours at 45 degrees. So that lead is closer to 90. And then like the closer blue, green, yellow, lead. So I'm okay with like blue. Once we start getting to like the yellow, it's probably too much of a curve for me. Or too much of a, yeah. So I'm just gonna make these more gentle here. That. And then see how you have this clean. I may get it to blue. And I use a bamboo splinter, so I can probably handle that. I can probably handle that. So we're gonna get rid of a lot of these. So I can probably handle that one as well. So now we removed a lot of these sharp overhangs. So it's gonna have difficulty right here. But when we mesh all of it, then you're gonna have to take a look at it again and see after it's meshed. Or after it's union together. So just add some of that because it has a little clip here, but okay, so now we're on to the bowl portion. The bowl portion here. Not too hard, so we're just gonna move it up slightly here. And then we're gonna use F to fill, I to inset. Then we're just gonna push it down. Maybe I'm gonna just add some edge loops here. And then use the smooth or the something like that. Okay, there we go. That's gonna be our bowl water. And then we're just gonna add some details here like this. Bevel this one. Scale this out slightly. And then once you add your subdivided surfaces, once you add your subdivided surfaces, it starts looking a lot nicer. Okay. So now for the lip portion there, I'm gonna take this edge and shift D to duplicate, manipulate by selections. And we're gonna convert this to a curve. Going to give it depth. And then we are going, if we make it flat like the picture, then it will have a hard time getting, printed in one piece, no support. What we're gonna do is we're just going to convert that to a mesh. Lift top one up slightly. That. But I do like this look of a flat piece here. So we are gonna just delete bottom ones, bottom faces. If we Alt Shift click this one and Alt Shift click the other one, and bridge edge loops. And then if we look here, we have this very sharp 90-degree. We're gonna do I think it just freaks out when you said divide surfaces. Yeah, I'm just gonna take that off for a second. You can hide it by hitting the little face. Okay. I'm just going to add an edge loop. And to get rid of the edge loop. Jeez. And then I'll probably. So this isn't gonna work because when we boolean it together, we're gonna have this flip here. What I'm gonna do, I'm just this edge loop there. So now we see what we're actually. So, do is just solve this edge. Divide it. Still kind of have that fun look, A type of. Or a interesting look. Not wholly super fun. There we go. That's at least interesting. Without it. There we go. And now it honestly looks like this. It looks like it's just two of the same thing stacked on top of each other, except one is smaller than. Which it is it? It almost. I'm just gonna copy this, duplicate it, make it smaller. Get rid of this part. Take this part here. There will be water here in the bowl, so I'm just gonna do that. No, maybe it is just the thing. Take this. That. We just take a look at how this looks with color. Blender's lagging on me. Should have saved. Not the best. And it may clash, which is not good. So you always want to save a bunch while you're working in Blender. Sometimes it just clashes on you. Don't know. And hopefully that's not what happened. But it looks like it is. Oh, no, there we go. You save right now. Boy, that's almost really bad. Just gonna turn on some sun here. So now this, if you look at the structure, this is a massive, absolutely massive whatchamacallit, fountain. Because this is 50. This is like millimeter base. That'd be 10 feet. And then this will probably finish at, do it, 25. So then that finishes at 150, which is 5, 10. 150 divided by 25 is 4, 6. 6 times 5. So this is 30 feet tall. It's a giant. Probably too big. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to cut out some of this height. And we're probably going to do it in a couple places, like here. Nah, I'll worry about it later. Probably cut some height in the bowl. Anyway, just add a little color to how it looks. That one. So this is how it would look when it gets painted up. So it kind of does look cool as just a massive, massive structure. It's like an absolutely massive thing. Where it's about 2 inches by, well, that's 3 inches. So 3 inches by 6 inches. This is really, really big. This would be more like a line of sight block kind of thing. Like a giant centerpiece. So I'm probably gonna have to change it, make it a bit smaller. We can do just by shrinking it in the dimension at a couple key places here. So I'm gonna take this bowl, we're gonna move it up a little bit because there's this middle portion here that isn't being gonna do is we I'm gonna apply scale here. Okay, that. Include. So this one goes out. We're just gonna make it. Okay, we're gonna we're delete. Vertice here. Exclude all this. And then we can put the top. Top. Probably gonna shrink this slightly. That. Top nicely. And then it's just the egg. So we're just gonna UV sphere, bring it all the way up. This is a fairly big fountain. Okay, so that's our UV sphere at the top here. Probably just gonna take one side, move it in. So this is the middle, so we're just gonna take both sides. Or I'll just delete the bottom section. Just move them down slightly high. And then we're just gonna take this top portion here, hit E, escape to exclude. Gonna Alt S, inward slightly. Okay. And then we're just going to delete these bottom vertices here. Include the Z, scale it a little bit. Include in the Z. Include in the Z, scale it a little bit. Include in the Z. Then we're just gonna take the egg. Look at the egg like. There we go. And there's our fountain. So if you want to add some water really quickly, so if you just subdivide all these surfaces, just subdivide these surfaces to 1, and then just add some edge loops where the portions you really want to be clearly defined as. And you can honestly look at that. Inset faces. So any portion you want to be really clearly defined as an edge, you can add some of these edge loops. And then just do that to all of them. That. Yep. So divide all of them. Wherever you. the sharp edges. And mesh analysis starts kind of going a little crazy when you add subdivided surfaces. As you, but if you apply it, it goes back to normal. So like here may be slightly difficult portion for the 3D printer to print, but since everything's below the lead, definitely not lead, and below yellow, I think it's fine. And then same up here. Egg. Add one. And then you can just add some water. You can add some water really easily by just adding a UV sphere. That. Then go ahead and go to scope mode. Apply scale, go into scope mode. Add some vertices to dynamic topology. 5 maybe way too many vertices. I'm gonna go back down to 1 if my computer doesn't clash. Okay, so I'm gonna go to like 1.5. That's better. Normally you want to set this thing to 0, but it doesn't really matter that much for this water. Gonna take off dynamic topology. So this is just how you make the water that I'm gonna do. I'm thinking of making this slightly more arcane. Then you just go and it count that. You don't want to make it super clean because you want to make it kind of a little awkward look. That, and then you can just go and make a tool, turn off symmetry, and you can kind of just mess with waves a little bit. Mess with their heights. Everything has to go. Make them out side a little bit, whatever you decide to do. Go ahead and add watercolor. So now we have our fountain. And I don't really like the water flowing from the very top of it. Not gonna. Very top part here, I'm just not gonna. So this is how I would make a fountain. You could probably do it, well, if you go into, no, this is how I do it. You could go into make a single vertice and then use the you want to make it, try to make it a little faster. This isn't a way that I normally do it. You could go get a vertice. If you have extra objects, you can make a vertice real easily, real fast. But yeah, so you make a vertice, then you blue, just food, do this kind of thing. Get approximate the shape of it. By surfaces slightly, you know. You can do that if you want to make it really fast. I don't really love doing that. That's just not a way that I stuff. I mean, it's faster. Like if you have a reference photo that's like 1-to-1, you can really easily go through it real fast like this. You know, and then pull in a little bit. Then you start a new one and you make the full part here. Stuff like that. Then just an approximate. If you take your time, you could do it in like half the time. Way less than half the time. Or like 5 minutes. So that's another way you can get this kind of stuff done, kind of work. But yeah, I prefer to do it the way I did it. Probably gonna go back and make this slightly shorter. But for now, I think I like how this looks. Yeah, I think I like how this. Anyway, I hope that everybody enjoyed watching this get made. If you are learning Blender, I hope you learned something. Just watching, I hope you enjoyed it. And please let me know in the comments if you want to see how anything else is made in any kind of styles. I'll see if I can do it. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope